Hello, Kanika. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Just eating breakfast.
Yeah, so any doubt in the previous session?
No.
Okay, so see, now only two topics are left in particularly EC2 instance. Okay, so in EC2, yesterday we have discussed all the types of EC2 instances that we can create, right?
Uh-huh.
And then we have seen, okay, we have completed EC2, complete types of EC2 instances and the complete series we have completed. Then we have to start with EC2 purchasing options. Like in how many ways we can purchase an EC2 instance. Okay. So
Okay.
I told you the types, basic introduction of that I have given you. Now formally if we start. Okay. So three things that see for every requirement that you want to buy, you should always know the use case why you are buying it. Okay, this is the basic thing that you should keep in mind while you are buying any of the things, right? You should be clear that just a minute, let me start from here. So when we deal about EC2 instances, okay, purchasing options, we have these options available with us. First was on demand. Second was dedicated instance. Third that we were having is dedicated host. Fourth that we have taken is spot instance. Fifth we have to see is schedule instance. Sixth that we have to see is reserved instance. Now inside this reserved one, we have three more. One is standard reserved instance. Another one is convertible reverse instance. And the third one is schedule reverse instance. And about these, I have told you the main that we deal with are the three. One is on demand, right? Another is reserved instance, and another one was spot instance. These are the three major ones that we use for most of the processes. Okay, whenever you want to require to do any of the work, most of the processes you use this type of instance. Getting it?
Got it.
We have discussed yesterday. Now there is another type of instance that we talk, and that is dedicated host. We have talked about dedicated host, means in which you have to buy an EC2 instance on physical server, means that server only belongs to you. That is dedicated only for your work. Okay, so the major things are clear. Now let's start with each and every one in detail. So first one we are taking is on demand. Okay, so in on demand instance, what we do, try to connect. Okay, AWS on demand instance are virtual servers that run in AWS, or you can say AWS relational database service that is RDS and are purchased at a fixed rate per hour. This is the basic introduction if you can understand inside on-demand instance. So it says that AWS on-demand instance are virtual servers that run on AWS. All the servers that we will study will be virtual servers. Means we have a hardware, okay, and on that hardware a hypervisor is there, and upon that hypervisor we will run all the processes. Okay, and AWS Relational Database Service. You can see either it is running on AWS or AWS Relational Database Service, means on which we can store the data. Okay, and it can be purchased at fixed rate, means the rates are fixed for on-demand instances, and it will be charged according to the per hour basis. Like if you buy an EC2 instance, which is of on-demand, okay, so the purchasing will be done on the basis of 1 hour, how much hours you have spent it on that EC2 instance. Getting it? Hello? I think you're on mute. Okay. Next thing.
Yeah, I'm on mute.
Yeah.
But if I have any questions, I will.
Yeah. Is it clear now? If you have any doubt, please
Yeah.
mute yourself and tell me. Okay.
Yeah.
So AWS recommends using on-demand instances for applications which short-term irregular workload that cannot be interrupted. So what AWS says, if you have a resource, okay, or application with short-term irregular workloads, means that you want it for short period of time. For short period of time you need, and you don't know that sometimes you are updating the data and sometimes you are not updating the data, means there is no fixed schedule or any regular updates you need to make on the EC2 instance. Okay, at that conditions you can use EC2 instance which is on demand. Getting it? So the features are
Yes.
that if you are using any application for a short period of time, as well as there is no regular updates or regular use of EC2 you cannot make or you're not making, means irregular workloads are there. Okay, that cannot be interrupted. Means you are not interrupting it, but you know, like I wanted for like say 1 month. Okay, and from in 1 month only 15 days, and these 15 days are not regular. I'm updating my data on it, and no interruption will be done between this month, means I'll not terminate it, I'll not stop it. All those conditions, if they fulfill your application, your work you want to do with EC2 instance, then go with on demand type of EC2 instance. Getting it?
Yeah. So I can have it for a month. I can cancel out. I can cancel the instance
You can
anytime, right?
yeah, you can, where there is no regular updates you need, means regular storage you don't want, like you want it for small applications, right? Not for big application or big workload.
But for short-term application. Okay.
Yeah, which where the application you want to run is for short period of time, for short terms. Okay, this is one point. Short term irregular workloads you should have and cannot be interrupted. Three things. If you find any application, okay, and you want to make an EC2 instance for that application, and these three conditions are fulfilled, then AWS people recommend you that go with on demand type of instance.
And I cancel. Can I terminate my instance anytime?
Sorry.
Terminate my instance
Yeah,
anytime?
you can terminate your instance, no issue.
Like anytime. Okay. And if I stop my instance, if I stop it, they are not gonna charge me, or they still gonna charge me for hours.
No. Actually, what happens? Say you have started on your instance on 20th of March. Okay, you are using your instance. Okay, till
Uh-huh.
1st of March. Okay, say 24 hours have been done, and here on 21st March, you have terminated your EC2 instance. Okay. Now, as soon as you terminate, they will only charge for the hours you have used before termination. They will not charge you for any other hours. So, if you terminate in between hours, you don't have to specify this date, that on this date I want to terminate. You can terminate. Just a minute, my screen is.
What about if I want to stop my instance?
Just a minute. Just give me a second. Actually, my driver is creating a problem. Just give me a second. I just update it. Actually, my the board I use to teach, no, the driver gets corrupted. So just give me a second and update it.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's working fine. Yes. So we were talking about this. Like, okay, so say you stopped it somewhere. Okay. At that time also the time you have taken. Okay, the time you have taken previously before stopping it. For that time they will charge you. Getting it? Hello?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Now another thing that we need to understand. There are also suitable for use during testing and development of applications on EC2. Okay, so whenever you want to test any application or develop that application, right? We do web testing, we do web development, right? All these things can be done using EC2 instance on demand. Okay.
Mhm.
Then comes on demand with on demand instance.
What do you mean by
Yes.
irregular workload?
Irregular workload means at some point of time, say at like this is you have 24 hours in a day and you have taken this using this instance for 24 hours. Okay, so from 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. you have transferred 100 GB of data. Okay,
Okay.
then at from 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. you have done nothing. Then at from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. you have done like 2 GB of data you have uploaded, like this, right? Means after you are not regularly updating the data, but you are
Yeah.
sometimes you are updating the data, you are not updating data, you are updating the less data. Means you are not regular with your work. Getting it?
Mm.
That's
Okay.
why we say this type of workload is known as irregular workload. Means at some time it is very much high, at some time it is very much low. So in a company, what happens? General example that if a company has no client, so the workload on the employees is very much less, but suddenly a new projects come up. Okay, so the workload increases. So they also have irregular workload. So you can connect with it. Getting it?
Got it.
Things are clear?
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. So we were talking about on-demand instances. So with on-demand instances, you only pay for EC2 instance you use. See, creating a EC2 instance will not charge you anything. Once, if you are creating an EC2 instance, okay, it's okay, they will not charge you. But as soon as you start using it, like you are using that instance to connect with other servers like web servers or Linux servers, or you're trying to update, create it, connect with other AWS services, such task you will not do, then they will not charge you. Okay, that's the benefit of on demand.
Okay.
Then next,
Like it.
the use of on demand instance frees you from the cost and complexity planning, purchasing, and monitoring. Hardware and transform what are commonly large fixed into much smaller variable cost. So try to understand. See, when you use on-demand instances, you don't have to worry about the cost and the complexities of planning, purchasing, monitoring the hardware, and transform what is commonly large fixed cost into smaller variable versions. Means actually, whenever you create an on-demand instance, means they give you all the facilities that are generally used by an EC2 instance. There you don't want to create your own customized instance. Okay, so it reduces the planning, purchasing, and monitoring. Everything will be done by the AWS automatically by themselves. Okay, so you don't have to waste your time in monitoring, purchasing, planning the hardware. You can, and the cost is very much low because if you create your own EC2 instance with customized services, okay, they will cost you high. But because you are using on demand, this cost is smaller as compared to this customized cost. Getting it?
Got it. Uh-huh. Monitoring.
Another thing, pricing is per instance hour consumed for each instance.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So that I don't have to worry about the complexity of planning, purchasing, and monitoring the hardware. Um,
It means
I'm a,
they will automatically select everything for you and they will provide it to directly go and use it. Like when you create an instance, you select multiple values,
uh-huh.
right? So when you go with on-demand instances, you don't have to go and select and tick each and every option. They will automatically give you the default values which are used for on-demand purposes. So you directly create the hardware AWS people are providing you and go, because see what they have mentioned that if you want it for short term, right?
Uh-huh.
If you want it for irregular periods of time, means the workload is irregular, right? So, and in these cases, we don't want our time to be wasted on planning, purchasing, and monitoring of the hardware. We just want a place where we can run our application for a short period of time. Getting it?
Got it.
Clear?
Thank you. Yep.
So, pricing is per instance are consumed for each instance from the time and instance is launched until it is terminated or stopped. So I cleared this thing about it, that it is charging instance per hour consumed for each instance from the time of instance is launched until it has been terminated and stopped. Okay.
Got it.
As soon as you stop, the billing will also stop.
Okay.
Each partial instance are consumed will be billed per second for Linux instance and as a full hour for all other instance types. So this is very important point, that whenever you use the Linux server, okay, means you want to design an EC2 with Linux operating system. Okay, so partial instance are consumed till will be billed per second for Linux. For Linux, okay, the time you are creating the instance, they will be calculated per second on the basis. But for other OSs, they will be per hour. This is the difference. If you will use Linux inside or EC2, you have every service you use. Every time you start using EC2 instance, they will charge for per second how many seconds you have spent, right? But when we use another OSs like Windows, Ubuntu, and all those, at that time they will see in how, on EC2 how much hours you have spent it, and the bill
Oh,
automatic like this.
wait. They for Linux, they bill per second.
Yeah.
How do they? How, so is that's more expensive?
Sorry.
Is that like more expensive in Linux than in Windows?
See, actually, what happens? Linux is an open source software. Getting it? And you can easily have Linux. You don't want any particular license to run the Linux operating system. So multiple people in the world use Linux system, and the demand of most of the operating system is Linux. So what they say,
Oh,
when so many people are using it, so we will charge according to the seconds. Okay, say you have used it for 60 seconds. Say you have used this for 61 seconds. They will charge you for 61 seconds. But here, if you have used it for 61 seconds, oh sorry, you have it's not 61 seconds, it's 3601 second. Okay, if you use it for these seconds, they will charge you only for these seconds because they charge per 1 second. But other OSs you have taken and you have used them, this other OS, if you use them for for this hours, then it will be a second hour start. So they will charge you for 2 hours. Getting it?
for 3,601 seconds.
Yeah, actually, these are seconds in 1 hour.
Okay.
If you do see like this, it's 1 hour, we have 60 minutes, right? And we have 36000 seconds.
Okay.
If
For a minute.
3601 seconds counts, then in Linux they will charge you for 3601 seconds. But when you use other OS, they will consider it at 2 hours. Means 1 second is increased, then also they will consider the bill
Oh,
2 hours.
okay.
Getting it?
I got it. Yep. We'll choose Linux.
So Linux is cheaper, you can say. Understanding it?
Yep.
Great. Everything is clear now? Any doubt?
Yeah, everything is clear for now. Yeah.
So now the next type that we have to see is dedicated instance. So I'm writing in the side purchasing type. First we have seen is on demand. And the second one we are seeing is dedicated instance. Now let's see what, how and when we require a dedicated instance. So dedicated instances are run in a VPC on hardware that is dedicated to a single customer. So when we talk about dedicated instance, it runs in a VPC. VPC, you can say, it assures a security group we have inside VPC in a particular hardware that is dedicated to single customer. Means if you're creating an instance inside a server, okay, this server will be having a VPC code with it, okay, and it will only be given to a single user, the complete server. No other person or customer can access this server. The person with this VPC will be able to access this server. Getting it?
Yep. Only the because it was voted from the first. Okay.
You dedicated your dedicated instances are physically isolated at the host hardware level from instances that belong to other AWS accounts. So what they're trying to say, your dedicated instance are physically isolated. Means these are the different servers. Okay. And if you ask that I wanted a dedicated host, then it will be isolated. Means no other server has access to this server. Okay.
Got it.
Host hardware level from instances that belongs to other AWS account. So say this server belongs to your account, right? This server belongs to other account. This server belongs to another account. These are inside one complete data center. Okay. But if you say I
Okay.
have a dedicated instance, so here they will specify that this account is dedicated because this applies a VPC which is specifically dedicated to a particular AWS account. Getting it? And or
Yeah.
if you ask, these servers don't have any VPC involved. So if you want that you provide on-demand instances of AWS account, right? It's AWS account 1 and AWS account 2. Okay. So now say one server has failed which belongs to account number 1. So what AWS will do? They will shift this AWS account to another EC2 server, which belongs to the second one, right? Now they will move this one to this server. Now both 1 and 2 are working on the same server till this one is get repaired. But this can't happen with your dedicated instance because you have applied the VPC. Getting it?
So dedicated instance, but they have a VPC.
Sorry.
You said they don't require a VPC dedicated instance.
No, dedicated instances require a VPC. I told you. See, run in a VPC on hardware. See, this is a hardware. It should has a VPC so that only your instance or your application can run in this. Okay. They provide a security group. Why do we apply security? Because we don't want that any other person can come into our house. Right? So this house only belongs to me. Getting it? So that no other user can come into my house and invade it. Getting it? Similarly, we are applying VPC on our dedicated instance so that no other AWS account can run their applications on our dedicated instance. Getting it?
So what is the security that they have?
They applied VPC, no?
I heard about a license.
Yeah, actually, see, license is different thing and VPC security is different thing. In VPC security, they provide you with key. Okay, security group they will provide you, and that security group
You know.
will be inside your AWS account.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, so only you will be able to access this. No other application can run on your AWS account. See,
They cannot hack it.
sometimes what happens. See, this is one application, one instance. This is second instance. Okay. Sometimes this first instance fails. So AWS, what they do, they transfer the application inside the second instance. So now here two applications are running. First, that was originally of second one, and the one which is failed inside the same EC2 instance. Right? This happens when we don't apply any VPC security group. But if we want a dedicated host, so they will create a dedicated host, right? And now, if anything fails in any of the EC2 instance, they will not be send that application for running or for implementation to your account. They will never be able to send. Why? Because you have applied the VPC, and this VPC, okay, is specific to your AWS account. Get
Okay. Cool, got it. Yeah.
Clear?
But that's like dedicated instance is more expensive than demand.
Yeah, it will be expensive because they are providing you complete different server.
And it's like okay, got it. Got it.
See, let me just complete, then continue with your questions, because we have just studied a little bit about it. Let me just finish the complete dedicated instance. I hope all the doubts will be cleared as we move forward, but still in the end you feel something is missing. We will discuss it. So, dedicated instances may share hardware with other from instances from the same account that are not dedicated instances. Now, what they say, we talk that no other AWS account can access our server when we're taking an EC2 instance. But an dedicated instance may share hardware with other instances from the same account. Focus on the same account, okay? That are not dedicated instance. Means we have created an instance which is dedicated, say dedicated EC2 instance we have, and in the same account we have multiple instances, simple EC2 instances, say on-demand instances. Now this one fails, so this application can run inside this dedicated EC2. If this fails, this application also can run inside this dedicated instance. But here there is another dedicated instance with EC2. You can't run this its application inside another dedicated EC2 instance. Getting it? Dedicated and dedicated cannot share the hardware, but the EC2 hardwares which are not dedicated can share the data or the hardware with the dedicated one.
Dedicated. Okay.
Clear?
Got it.
Pay for dedicated instances on demand, save up to 70% by purchasing reversed reserve instances or save up to 90% by purchasing pod instances. So what they're trying to say, it is a comparison between the billing of the different types of purchase types. So pay for dedicated instance on demand, save 70%. Okay, see on demand, okay, if you buy, say it is X, on demand you buy for X rupees, okay, so X dollar, okay, save 20% by purchasing reserved instance, okay, and you buy a reserved instance. The next another type of instance is there you will get 70% of X, means This reserved one is cheaper than on demand one. Or save up to 90% by buying stop instance. Spot instance means it will give you 90% dollar of X. Okay, it will be more 90% of less. So what they are trying to say that pay for dedicated instance on demand, save up to 70% by purchasing reserved instance, or save up to 90% by purchasing spot instance. Now, if you want your dedicated instance, okay, either you have to buy an on demand, either you have to buy a reserved instance, either you have to buy spot instance. Okay, see, this comparison only, you'll only be able to understand when we'll cover all the three types of instances. So just let it be.
70%. Oh,
Yeah,
you could
I'll
explain them
teach
better.
you
Okay.
again. Wait. Another is dedicated host. Okay. So purchasing options that we have seen. First was on demand. Second was dedicated. Instance, and third one is dedicated host. Okay, now we'll see what dedicated host says. So an Amazon EC2 dedicated host is a physical server with EC2 instance, capacity, fully dedicated to your use. Means now what they are saying that we will provide you a dedicated host which will be a physical server with EC2 instance whose capacity will be fully of your use. Nobody else can share that hardware with you. This is your EC2 instance. All the services which will be provided in this EC2 instance will be only accessible by you. No other EC2 instance or no other dedicated host or anything can come and interrupt with the hardware services. Means if you say the CPU, virtual CPU of this is like 1 to 8 units. Okay, these 8 units will be only used by the applications that you want to run in this EC2, right? No
Got
other
it.
person or the other EC2 can interrupt with this. Dedicated host can help you address compliance requirement and reduces cost by allowing you to use your existing server bound software license. See, the language that I'm teaching you seems to be very much complicated in terms of technical, but I'm trying to give you the explanation of every word I'm teaching you, because the language you have to answer inside your interview or the paper you will giving will be this language only. Okay, so still if you
Like physical server, like this is a physical server that's a dedicated host that I can buy.
yeah, so if you have any issue with any of the terminologies, please be free to ask me. Okay,
Okay.
dedicated host can help you to address compliance requirements and reduce cost by allowing you to use your existing server bound software license. Now what happens, say you want to install MySQL inside your server, okay, in your EC2 instance, but it requires the license. Say it requires a license, for example, but for buying the license you have to pay some money. But in this dedicated host, what happens, if in your local system you already have a MySQL, okay, and it has a license, then you can directly integrate it with this EC2 instance. So the cost of license is reduced, and hence you are saving, reduces the cost, and compliance requirement. The requirement is filled automatically because you already have it. Because this is your own EC2 instance which nobody else can access, so you can use your own resources from your local computer also.
Okay.
Getting it?
Is it to use your system because it comes with a software license, the dedicated host?
Actually, what happens? They are providing you a benefit. Okay, we will not give you any license. Okay, but if you want to buy, you can buy and add it to your EC2 instance. But because inside dedicated host, what benefit we have? That only I can access my own EC2 instance. Nobody has the right, or nobody else can use my EC2 instance. So instead of buying a new license, if I already have this license in my local system or on my local server, I can just connect it with this. Now my EC2 also has a MySQL license and I don't have to buy it again. Getting it?
Got it. Okay.
Now pay for a physical host that is fully dedicated to running your instance and bring you your existing per socket per core per virtual machine software license to reduce cost. So try to understand this one. What they're saying, pay for physical host. You have to just pay for a physical host that is fully dedicated to run your instance. Means it will run only your instance, and bring your own existing pre-sockets. If you have pre-core processor CPU, you can add more CPU to it. You can bring your own virtual machine software licenses. You can bring, so that all these things you don't buy again while you're creating an EC2 instance, so that it reduces the cost of your EC2 instance. Pre-core means the core processing units. Sockets means the connecting APIs and sockets. If you have already them inside your own system, in your local system, you have already buy those things. You don't have to buy it again in the inside the EC2 instance. Getting it?
Okay, got it.
Now the last type, I think so, that is left. Dedicated host we have seen. Now we have uh, spot instance. So let me write chasing options. That we have seen is on demand. Another one is dedicated instance. Third one is dedicated host. Now we have to start with spot instance. So AWS Amazon spot instance. Let you take advantage of unused EC2 capacity in the AWS cloud spot instances are available at up to 90% discount as compared to on-demand prices. Okay, so what they are trying to say, spot instances let you take the advantages of unused EC2 capacities in the AWS cloud spot. Instances are available at 90% of the demand on demand price. 90 they are available less on the 90% discount. Just try to imagine, okay, that you have a hotel under you. Okay, you run a
Mhm.
hotel chain under you. Okay, now say uh, you have 50% rooms here and 50% rooms on 2 floors. Now what happens, your timing is generally from 12 a.m. to 11 p.m. right? If a person buys a room at 12 a.m., they have to empty it from 11 p.m. right? Now what happens, that all the 50 rooms are being occupied. Okay, they're occupied. Now the rate say that was $1,000. Okay, now what happens? These rooms, these 50% rooms were empty, right? Now the owner of the hotel thought that instead of wasting these 50% rooms empty, let me put them on the discount. Okay, so say they have said that 90% discounts I am giving these 50 rooms. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if a customer comes and say, okay, I want to buy a room, so the room will be on 90% discount, right? Why they are doing so? Because they want to earn money. Getting zero is is not better than getting 90% less. Okay, they know because if they'll check in at 12, they have to leave by 11, then I'll get a new customer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So instead of getting into the loss, they give the discount so that more customer can buy the room, and this empty space also provides them with some profit.
Okay.
Now what happens in Amazon? Similar thing they are doing. What they are trying that okay, 50% of my instances are occupied at the same rate. Getting it? Now
Uh-huh.
this EC2 instance are left empty. So now what I if anybody want for spot instance comes that they want it for spot instance type, then I will provide them at 90% less. But what happens? Say I have provided them at the rate of $200. Okay. Now, after sometimes what happens, a new customer comes in to me and they said, okay, I want to buy this EC2 instance and I'm able to pay you ₹1,000, $1,000. Okay. Now what AWS people will say, okay, the customer, this is the first customer you have given on discount, and this is second customer who is able to pay complete $1,000 for the EC2 instance, right? But now we have already given it to this person. So before giving this, we have signed an argument, some agreement with this person and said, okay, if you're buying this room, okay, you're buying at 200. The customer will say, if the room charge is gone till 400, then I am able to take this room. Means if the customer comes and say, okay, I want this room for 300. So this room will this EC2 instance will not be given to this person. Okay. But if a person comes with more value, like this customer, $100,000 they are giving. So this room they will say, okay, you have to now empty it because I have a customer with value more than $400. Then this room, this EC2 instant, or you can consider a room right now, will be given to this at the actual price. Getting it?
Got it.
It's making a sense to you?
Well, I mean, just trying to understand that if I buy spot instance, I'm gonna get like a 90% discount compared to on-demand prices, which is gonna be a lot cheaper.
Yeah, it will be very cheaper because 90% discount on anything will be very, very much cheaper. Means
But does
if you want to buy a thing of $100, you are getting it at $10. What's what all you need in life? I think so.
my question is gonna be the
Yes.
same quality? Is gonna be the same benefits as
Yes.
demand is?
Yes. Exactly same benefits. Exactly same services that EC2 instance provide you.
And it can be for short term and long term.
Yeah, it's obviously short term. As soon as a customer comes with the higher value, they will
And
give.
it's good for irregular workload.
Yeah, it's it's for like, let me complete, then I'll complete these queries of you. Let me just complete this and then we'll discuss your queries. This part I have told you is getting into your head, this how it works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. When to use spot instance? I'm trying to understand.
When you have less money,
When I have less money? Oh, that's easy.
you are
Okay.
not able to afford the thousand rupee $1,000 room, you can go with $10 room, obviously. See what happens nowadays, everything is online. As soon as the discount goes on, people will get the notification that on in this hotel this much of discount is going on. So what people do, because they don't have money, why do people go on discount? Why the people are very much crazy for sales? Because
Want to?
they have less money and the prices of the amount, prices of the things they want to buy is very much high, but at some conditions the price is now low, so they are saying that this is matching my financial conditions, so I will go with the sale option. It's like that.
I have a question. It is always 90% discount, like always
Yeah,
every month,
always it
every
is,
year.
always.
So why do we have demand instances? We should eliminate those and get
No, no,
spot
no, no,
instance.
no. Say what happens, just let me complete it, then we will discuss all your questions. I'm getting your queries, but let you understand all the basics first. Then we'll discuss all the scenarios. Okay?
Okay.
You can you can use spot instances for various test and development workloads. You also have the option to hibernate, stop, or terminate your spot instance when EC2 reclaims the capacity back with 2 minutes of notice. Okay, try to understand this. See, this is very much clear that it is used for testing and development workloads. Means small amount of work you want to do, right? See, what happens usually when any hotel room is available at 90% discount, right? People don't go for the pre-bookings. Means they are gone to say Europe for tours, okay, and they want to spend 3 to 4 nights here. They will not book such hotels, okay. They only go
Okay.
for such hotels then they want it for one night or one day, okay, for short period of times, because they also know after some time the cost will increase, and when you book any instance, they ask you for how much duration you want. If the duration is high, they
Mm-hmm.
will not allow the room to you, because why they will do the loss? Okay, they are doing only for maintaining the zero. Instead of zero, they are saying instead of having zero income, let's have some income. But they are not fools that they will provide you 3 to 4 days in $1,000 room at the price of $100.
Okay.
Okay, so you have the options to hibernate, stop, and terminate your spot instance when EC2 reclaims the capacity back within 2 minutes of notice. Say now they are saying we have given you the capacity, but now we want it back. We want our EC2 instance back. So in 2 minutes, what you can do, you can either hibernate, stop, or terminate your spot instance and give all the space again to the EC2 backs. Okay.
Okay.
Now the question arises, when would my instance get interrupted? Now, in which cases they will say, okay, get out of the hotel room. You can understand it like that. Okay. So in which cases your spot instance get interrupted? First is primarily, primary reason would be Amazon EC2 capacity requirement. Example, on demand or reserved. Okay, so now what happens in one case, the first case in which they can ask your capacity back is when there is a requirement of the capacity. Means now you have an EC2 instance. Okay, you have asked for this for spot instance, right? Now one more customer comes in and says, I want this EC2 instance for on-demand purpose. Or they say, I want EC2 instance for reserved purpose. Okay, in such cases, the priority is given to either to these. Priority is given to on demand and reserved one. So any instance which is running on spot instance and the requirement comes that a customer want them on demand or reserved instance demand, then they will ask, okay, I want my capacity back, and you can just terminate, stop, or hibernate your spot instance in 2 minutes. Getting it?
Yep.
Another thing, secondarily, the another reason could be if you have chose to set a maximum spot price and the spot price rises above. I explained this to you, right? Say you have bought this EC2 instance inside spot instance at the price of $10 to say $50. But now a customer comes and say, I want an EC2 instant and I'm able to pay $60. So this is the maximum spot price you have. This 50 is the maximum spot price. And the spot price, if rises above this, means instead your maximum price was 50, but it now this EC2 instance has more than this, then this instance will be cancelled and the capacity will be asked back, and this will be given to this $60 one person. Getting it?
Yep.
It is making sense to you now?
Yeah, it's making sense.
Any queries you have?
Choose to say the max spot price. Can you explain me in another sample the set max price?
Which concept?
The secondarily.
This secondarily. Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens? There is a house. Okay. The bidding of this house is going on. Okay. Now the price set by government, that this will belong to government. The price is, say, if the price of the house is $10 to $50. If this is the price, the ranges, the price is this given by this government, that if the person is not able to bid the price from 10 to 50, this property will belong to government. But here another person comes up and say, okay, I will buy this house for $60. Then this house will be given to this person, or the more persons are bidding on it and they say, I can buy this for $100. This will be given to this. So the price that we have set, usually what happens, if there is a land, okay, if there is a land in and this land has no owner, okay, so what government says, okay, now I will open this bidding for this property. I want to sell the property. Now government says, if the price is between $10 to $50, if less than $50 people are applying for this land, then this land will belong to the government. But more than that, then if the price of bidding rise then more than 50, then this property will belong to the person who has applied for the bidding more than the maximum bidding value. Maximum bidding value is 50. Now they have said, okay, for $60 I will buy this land. So government will say, okay, this is not a government property, this is your property now. Getting it?
Got it.
Is it making sense to you?
Yeah. Yeah, something maybe when I see in the console, maybe it would be clear.
See, in console you will not be able to see all this. Try to understand. These are the internal knowledges I am providing you, why this option is made, when why this option is used. Okay. You have to just go there and there will be options like this. These will go by face. They ask, you want on demand, you want dedicated host, or you want spot instance. You have to just go on that and they will give you. Getting it? They will not understand what is going behind the scene. Okay. So it's better that you clear all your doubts before selecting the option.
So it's like I prefer to choose a spot instance instead of demand.
Yeah, see, there are multiple options. See, I told you all the purchasing options will be there, right? On demand will be there, dedicated to spot instance. So anyone you can select. But according to your requirement, if you want demand, you go on demand, you want dedicated host, you want spot instance. So it depends on the features they are providing to you. If you want your application to run for 2 years, you will never ever go with spot instance because it is risky, right? If
Oh, okay. It can.
yeah,
Yeah.
say you are an Amazon owner. You have an EC2 instance or spot instance, and your website is running on this EC2.
Okay.
Your rival Facebook comes in. They know, okay, Amazon instance is running on this EC2 instance. I will buy it. See, the price is $100, the maximum price they have put. They say, I'll give $200, $2,000. Then they have to leave this spot, and their website can be, you can,
Crash.
no, it will not crash. Okay, it will be stopped for some time till they switch to another EC2 instance. Getting it?
It's like another person can buy my spot instance.
Yes.
I don't like a spot instance. If my data is so important and I need
Yeah,
uh
that's why they have made so many instances purchasing options for the person who are doing a business with important data, who want it for a small period of time, who want a dedicated, complete, simple machine for themselves only. So all,
dedicated host.
yeah, so they have made everything in keeping the mind different persons, different requirements. That's why they are making so much of money, right?
Okay. Well, yeah.
And you will also help them one day by becoming an solution architect to earn.
Yeah. My dream come true.
So now study for your dreams, purchasing options. So the first one we have seen is on demand. I'm writing them again so you remember in your head what are the all the instances. On demand, then dedicated host, dedicated instance we have. Third we have studied is dedicated host. Fourth we have seen is spot instance. Now we will study about schedule instance.
Can you just refresh my mind the difference between dedicated instance and dedicated host?
Yeah, see,
Just yeah, just 1 minute.
this is dedicated instance. Means you will have a VPC
Mhm.
on a dedicated instance, right?
Okay.
And nobody else, no other AWS account
Uh-huh. Okay.
can access your dedicated host. But if it is required, in your same account, other instances which are not EC2, which is not dedicated instance, can access the hardware, right? This is dedicated instance. And in dedicated host, what is happening? Nobody means nobody. Even your own AWS account services cannot access the dedicated host hardware. As
So
well as what,
okay.
as well as the identity that it provide, that you can use your own licenses. Here, dedicated
Okay.
instances, you can't have the facilities of licenses that you can invoke inside.
The dedicated host is a physical server, and dedicated instance are like virtual computers
No, they are physically
dedicated to.
isolated. They are not completely different, but they are isolated. See, one is there is a,
Oh,
let me
okay. So the dedicated host has dedicated instances.
see
The
me.
dedicated instances are belongs to the dedicated host.
See, this is a house. Okay. Inside this house, you have isolate room, a separate room. Okay.
Okay.
Which is isolated. Right? And this is a house. And outside this house, you have another house. Means these two are separate. Right? So this is the example of dedicated instance. And this is the example of dedicated host. Getting it? Means
Got it.
we have multiple instances. But this instance is isolated. That's why the name is dedicated instance, particular instance. Here the
Okay.
host changes. Okay. Even the AWS same account instances cannot access the hardware of this host. Only this will have the right towards its operations, but here they can access the hardware. Getting it?
Any hardware.
Hmm?
They can access the hardware.
Yeah, hardware they can access means they can if their server fails, say his server fails and they are running an application, so they can ask this instance that please run my application on your server because my server is crashed. But here you can't do this.
That's one of the main differences.
Yeah, this is the main difference, as well as the license difference is also there. Like
the license difference. Okay.
sockets, all this you can include separately, but here you can't.
Okay. Perfect.
Is it making sense?
Yeah.
Now, scheduled instance. Schedule reserve instance, enable you to purchase enable you to purchase capacity requirement, or you can say capacity reservation that recur on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis with a specified start time and duration for a 1 year term. Okay. See, this is used when you want, that you need an EC2 instance for at least 2 years or years more than means you require them for a long period, you can say. So there what you can do, scheduled reserve instance enables you to purchase capacity reservations that recur on daily, weekly or monthly basis with a specified start time and duration for 1 term, 1 year term. So what they do, they will reserve this EC2 instance for at least 1 year for you. Means this EC2 instance will be given to anybody else, or nobody else can use this EC2 instance for 1 year if you are reserving the capacity here. Getting it?
Yep.
You reserve the capacity in advance so that you know it is available when you need. So what happens? We do reservations, right? You reserve a table for 2 inside a restaurant, right? You already know that I will require it. That's why you are pre-reserving it, so that because it's a weekend and I'll not get a table for 2 in the restaurant because it will be very much rush. So in advance only, before the weekend comes, you have reserved the table. Getting it? Like this, you know that in future I'll require this amount of this EC2 instance for my work. Okay, so you are reserving the capacity in advance so that whenever you need it, you can access it. Getting it? But
Got it.
specify from which time to which time you want this EC2 instance. Getting it? You have to pay the charge for it.
Okay. So I have a question.
Yes.
It has to be only for 1 year term. I cannot request it for a month.
1 year term, they will provide you.
Yeah, that's the minimum. 1 year term is the minimum.
No. At least it is 1 year. More than that, you can go with. But what EC2 people believe, that don't rely on a person for long terms. If a person dies, what will happen? Their money is gone. So they give you 1 term, 1 month term is the maximum one. Okay, the death case is very much extreme have taken, but in any case you can take. Okay, if the person cheats or something, but for 1 year this is maximum. But if you want to increase, you can increase. Okay.
But okay, but what about if I need it for a month?
Yeah,
Only.
for a month. See, I told you a month, weekly or daily you can select.
But I can purchase for a month, and then after that I don't want it anymore.
Then you can terminate it, no? See, I'll tell you the pay speed. Okay. You pay for the time that the instances are scheduled. Even if you don't use. So you are asking now about the month. So say you have selected that I want from 22 January 20 to 22 July 20. Okay. I'm talking about. But your work has been terminated. This is the time you have given to AWS when they ask that how much schedule you want. You have given this. But your work has been finished between March only. Okay. So now what they say, once you have scheduled it, you have to charge it for full. If you have finished your work in March also, you have to pay the bill till 22nd July 2020 because you have pre-scheduled it. It happens now. If you pre-schedule your flight and you missed it, they will not refund it.
So they are not going to refund my money.
Because you have booked the resource previously, and because of you, they have not given it to someone else.
Mm,
So they will charge from you only. So it is very much, see, why we are studying all this, so that we have a good understanding when to use which purchase service. So
yes.
know that in scheduling instances, either if once I have scheduled it, then I have to follow it, right? So be very much careful while selecting the schedule. Otherwise, you have to pay more money.
Got it.
Now, another thing, schedule instances are a good choice for workloads that do not run continuously but do run on a regular schedule. So try to understand this, what they are saying. Scheduled instances are a good choice for workloads that do not run continuously but run regular schedules. Means they know that I have a regular schedule at this point of time. I need an EC2 instance to work. Whenever such condition applies, that you have a regular schedule, like say uh, that WhatsApp updates. WhatsApp, okay, takes the backup of your WhatsApp account at 2 a.m. in my IST, okay, 2 a.m. ST. So this process runs regularly every day, but it runs only for 5 to 10 minutes, right? So it is not continuous that whole day it is running, but it is regularly running each and every day, right? So you can have an scheduled instance which scheduled it, and you can use it for such services. Getting it?
Got it.
Purchase instances that are always available on the specified recurring schedule for a 1 year term. Okay, what they are trying to say, purchase instances that are always available on the specified recurring schedule for 1 year. So there will be options, okay? When you will select the options for schedule instances, they will provide which EC2 instance is available for reoccurring schedules. Means you want it again and again, you can change it. So for 1 year, if you have buy any schedule, so for next 1 year, it should always be available. Okay. So go with such options where you can increase the terms as per your schedule. Getting it? So purchase instances that are always available on specified recurring schedules. Okay, means at 2 a.m. daily. the WhatsApp people are taking the backup. So next day also at 2 p.m., this instance should be available. Okay, getting it?
Got it. It should be available for that time only.
Yeah, this is the beauty of this. Okay, I'm just telling you, just wait. Okay, give me a second. Let me just complete. For example, you can schedule instances for an application that runs during business hours or for batch processing. That run at the end of the week. Okay, so what happens? You have to use schedule instances for applications which runs during business hours. You know, I want this particular server or this application to run from 2 a.m. to 10 p.m. Okay, so this schedule you will give to the EC2 instance. So at every each day at this time, this server will be provided to you. Your application will run, and this server then they can either keep it idle, they can give it to any other person or any other things. It's up to them. Or if you know that after 6 days in a week, right? In a week, after 6 days, you want to run this application. Okay, then next after 6 days you want to run this application. So you have to provide such a schedule at which you want to run the application inside the server. Okay, and so they will provide you the timing. That's why we were talking. No, that doesn't run continuously. We don't want it should run continuously, but it should run at a regular schedule.
Mm.
Daily it should happen. Okay, regular means at the same thing you're doing again and again is regular. Continuously means you are doing continuing the same thing in a straight format. Okay, we don't want this. We want scheduled instance for this type of applications. Getting it?
Okay, like regular schedule is like it will be on the on the specific schedule that I set up. For example, 2 a.m. to 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. It will be always to every day on this schedule,
Yeah,
right?
you can run your application or EC2 instance daily on this schedule.
Like you said, like 2 to 10 p.m. every day. That's regular schedule.
Yeah, that will be regular. But you are saying that I want to run from 22nd to 24th. Continuously, I want to run this application. Then this is not for this type of application. This is for specific schedule. For some time you want it, and next day for same time you want it. Next day you for same time you want it. Then this type of scheduling you can choose.
Okay, got it.
Making sense to you?
Yep.
Any doubt you have? Any example
Oh,
of this type?
well, if I want to use an instance that okay, like from January 21 to January 2024, I use on demand.
Yeah, you
If my
can use
if my
on
workload is
demand. You
really
can use.
is
You
very
can
important
also use
to
what
run bash
dedicated
jobs.
host, dedicated instance. You can use. All of these you can use. But specifically, if you have a schedule and you want to run it in regular instances, then you can go with this type of schedule. Getting it?
Got it. Yep.
Everything is clear?
Yes. Everything is clear.
Okay. Now, the next we have covered the instances pricing. So on demand we have done, dedicated host we have done, dedicated instance, dedicated host we have done spot instance, we have done scheduled instance. Now comes the reserved instance. So in reserved instance, what happens? See what happens. AWS EC2 Revise instance provides significant discount of 75% compared to on-demand pricing, provides a capacity reservation when used in a specific availability zone. So what they are trying to say, see on-demand we take for short periods, right? So what happens? There's a person, okay, who comes to you and say, I want to buy this house, okay, for 2 months, right? Okay. And another person comes to you and say, I want to buy this house for 2 years. Getting it?
Yep.
So you will provide this for 2 hours. This is for short period of time. So we say this is on demand. And it is for long time. That's why we will say, okay, I have reserved this house for 2 years.
3 years.
For this 2 year, person will say, I am buying it for 2 years. Please give me a discount. So as compared to this one, they will provide you 70% discount. Like say, if it is of $100, now this will be of $25. Getting it?
Got it.
So it is same like this. For more time you are asking for the resource and you are able to pay for it, then they will say, okay, I'll provide you discount because you are my permanent customer for 2 years now, or for X amount of years. Okay. So this type of services usually come to hand when we know, when see, like big companies like Facebook. Okay, they know I want to run my website daily. They know for at least 5 years people will going to use Facebook. So what they do, they reserve this EC2 instance for 5 years, right? But there is a small company, a small startup. They don't know for how much time their application needs to run. So they have bought an EC2 instance for 2 months, right? So this is the difference. When you know you want it for a long period of time, and when you know you don't want it for long period of time. It depends on the choice you make, right?
Got it. Okay.
And it is for specific availability zone. For one particular zone, you have to specify in which zone you want to reserve it. Okay.
Got it.
So what they're trying to say, reserve instances gives you option to reserve a database instance for 1 or 3 years terms, in turn receive a significant discount as compared to the on-demand instance prices of database instance. This is clear?
Yep.
Making sense?
70% discount. But for 2 years, so that's too long.
Yeah, it's like a bond they provide you. Yeah, they what they say that if you are with our company for 2 to 3 years, if you are see what happens, many e-commerce sites do that. Okay, if you will buy a subscription for 1 years, they will charge you $100. If you buy the subscription for 2 years, they will reduce the price to like 100, 200. They will give you it in 150, means 50% discount. 3 years, they will give you in $200. So actually the price should be 200 here and 300 here. But because you are a regular customer, they have given you a discount. It is like this. Getting it?
Okay. Yep.
Try to relate it with real-time scenarios. You will get to know, because every technology is only built when the requirement is there. Nothing is made without requirement. What they say, no? Necessity is the mother of all inventions. It's like this. So if there is necessity, only then you will be able to derive new things or discover new things. Like you discovered me as a teacher because you want to learn. Similar way. Types of reserved instances. Now, so there are three types of reserved instances. One is standard reserved instance. Another is contributed reserved instance, and another is schedule reserved instance. You're clear with reserved instance, no?
Yeah, I'm clear with the schedule reserve instance.
Now there are three types of it. So what happens in standard one? These provide the most significant discount, that is 75% off on demand and are best suited for steady state users. So this type of reserved instance standard, it provides you with more significant discount, means the maximum discount you will find is 75%. Okay, on demand, and is best suited for steady state users, means for the processes which have to go in long term, right?
Okay.
To run it for long time, that it is used for that. Then convert, like I just need 2 to 3 minutes more so that I complete this topic.
Okay, got it.
So is leaving it is of no use. It is just a small topic left. Convertible, in this, these provide a discount up to 54%. Okay,
Got it.
and the capability to change the attributes of the reserved instance as long as the exchange results in the creation of reserved instance of greater or equal value. So they are trying to say that convertible reserve instance, they provide a discount of 54% and the capability to change the attributes of reserved instance, means you can change the previous settings that you have made while making the reserved instance. You can change them also, but in standards you can't change. Remember that. As long as the exchange rate results in the creation of reserved instance of greater or equal value. See, you can either increase the size of the reserved instance, right? Or of equal size. If less than that you are creating, then it is not possible. Either the attribute should increase the capacity of the EC2 instance, or of same value, but you can't decrease the capabilities. Getting it?
Yeah.
Now the another one was schedule reserved instance. So these are available to launch within the time window you schedule. So it is like same as schedule instance, but in this, what you can do, you can specify the time also, right? Like I want it from 2 a.m. to 4 p.m. I want to run this every day, but for 1 to 4 years. You can specify the times and the reserved time is there, as well as you can schedule the time at which particular time you want to run this EC2 instance.
Got it. Yep.
Now the question, one question is there, that can we transfer a convertible or standard reserved instance from one region to another? So the answer is no, you can't change the region. Okay. And another question, how can you change the configuration, the attributes you want to change in convertible RI? Okay. So we know that we can change the configuration. There you will see the option of EC2 management console. Okay, in that you can easily change the attributes of a reserved instance. Okay, getting it?
Yep.
Another is, do they charge if you change any attributes? So what happens, say earlier you have taken 100 GB. Now you have increased the capacity to 120 GB. So 100 GB you were already paying. Now you will just have to pay for 20 more GBs. So now total will be 120 GB you have to pay. Nothing extra. For converting, they will not charge, but the resource you are using, they will charge.
If I convert an instance, okay, I can convert it to on demand.
No.
What you mean by conversion?
No. See, reserved instance, okay, has 3 types, I told you. These.
Oh, I can convert it within the 3 types?
Yeah. No, actually what you are not, you are not converting anything. You have already taken this EC2 instance as reserved instance, and you have already set some attributes inside it that I want 100 GB of RAM, say. But in this contribute gives you an option that you can change this configuration. Only this much
okay.
Providing you.
That's what they mean by convertible. Okay.
Getting
can
it?
Increase the value.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it.
Clear?
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So please revise it and get back to me if you have any doubts. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, have a
Good night. Thank you.
Bye-bye.